The world as you knew it is over. From the top floor of this abandoned apartment building, the only sounds are the groans of the dead and the splintering of wood from the floor below. Your food is almost gone. They're getting closer. Every choice you make from this moment on will determine if you live or die. What will you do? That splintering sound, it's not your imagination. It's the sound of your time running out, and the pounding on the stairwell door is getting more frantic. You're alone, you're trapped, and the world outside has become a graveyard. This isn't a movie. This is your reality now, and survival is not guaranteed. It all comes down to the critical choices you're about to make. And the biggest threat isn't just the undeadites, the crushing weight of total isolation. Fear, loneliness, and despair are enemies just as real as the monsters outside. Your own mind can become a prison, leading to paranoia and bad decisions long before a zombie ever breaks down your door. This is the ultimate test of your resourcefulness, your will to live, and your ability to make impossible decisions under pressure. Most people focus on the wrong things, on cool gear instead of useful skills, on wants instead of needs. You're not going to make that mistake. You're going to break this nightmare down into manageable tasks. This isn't about being a hero. It's about being a survivor. Let's begin. First things first, you have to make your shelter a fortress. You're on the top floor, which gives you a great height advantage. But apartment buildings can turn into death traps if they're overrun. Your immediate priority is the door to your apartment and the main door to your floor. That pounding means they've already breached the lower levels. Don't just shove a couch against the door. That's a rookie move, a temporary fix for a permanent problem. Think in layers. The goal is to reinforce, not just block. If you can find a door reinforcement kit, use it. Add secondary deadbolts or security bars. Heavy furniture is your next layer, but arrange it to brace the door, not just sit in front of it. Windows are your next weak point. Reinforce them with anything you can find. Plywood, metal sheets torn from appliances, even the shelves from your closet. Security film, if you have it, makes windows a nightmare to shatter. Now, think bigger. You need to know this building like the back of your hand. Those elevators, they're just useless metal coffins now. You need a mental map of every stairwell, every emergency exit, and most importantly, any roof access points. Consider it your new workout routine. Take the stairs. Learn the layout, and understand that sometimes, the only way out is up. But here's the pro tip most people miss. Don't make yourself a target. In a grid-down world, the apartment with the lights on is a beacon for the desperate and the dangerous. Get good blackout curtains. Your goal is to be a ghost, a gray man in the concrete jungle. The best prepared person in the building is the one nobody even knows is there. The barricade holds, for now. But in the silence that follows, a new enemy shows up. Your own mind, every creak of the building, every distant scream, sounds like it's right outside your door. You have to control that initial shock of isolation before it leads to a careless mistake. Your fortress is secure, but the clock is ticking. Hunger and thirst will make you weak, and a weak survivor is a dead survivor. This is now the most important game you'll ever play: resource management. Let's start with the absolute priority: water. A reliable water source is the most critical supply you can have. Your taps will run dry, if they haven't already. Your first move is to fill every single container you own: the bathtub, sinks, pots, and pans. Stackable water jugs are ideal, but you work with what you've got. Don't forget, you can harvest rainwater from a balcony or rooftop, but you'll need to purify it. A simple water filter or purification tablets are worth more than gold. Next, food. You're in an apartment, so your options are limited. Forget fresh anything. Canned goods, dried fruit, nuts, and other non-perishables are your lifeline. They're made to last and don't take up much room. To maximize that space, think vertically. Use wall-mounted shelves, hanging organizers, and the tops of your cabinets. Keep bulk items like rice and beans in airtight containers to protect them from pests. But eventually, the stockpile will run low. That last can of beans will stare back at you. The apartment next door has been quiet for days. Too quiet. Is the risk of leaving your fortress worth the potential reward? This is your first real test of desperation. Scavenging isn't a trip to the store. It's a calculated risk. Going in groups is safer, but you're alone. You have to be quiet. Noise is a dinner bell for the dead. Maybe it's time to check out that previous video we did on long-term food storage in small spaces. The principles we talked about there could give you the edge you need, helping you figure out if that scavenging run is truly necessary, or if you've got resources right under your nose. Choosing to scavenge means facing the unknown. Other survivors can be an even bigger threat than the undead, all fighting for the same resources. But staying put means slowly starving in the dark. Your call. A lone groaner is scratching at your barricade. It's a single target. You could probably take it out, but the sound of a struggle, of a body hitting the floor, could alert 10 more. The instinct to fight, to do something, is strong. But a smart survivor knows you don't fight the dead. You fight to conserve energy, resources, and your own sanity. Avoidance is your best tactic. Stealth is your greatest weapon. But sometimes, a fight is unavoidable. When that happens, forget what you've seen in the movies. You might be tempted to grab a firearm, but think twice. A gunshot is dangerously loud. It asks a dinner bell for every walker in a 1-mile radius and also alerts other survivors who may not be friendly. Plus, ammunition is a finite resource that degrades over time. Your best friends are quiet, reliable melee weapons. A steel pipe from under the sink, a heavy-duty flashlight, a baseball bat, a sharpened kitchen knife, these are the real tools of survival. This isn't about a heroic last stand. It's about a swift, efficient, and silent takedown of an immediate threat. Aim for the head. It's a cliché for a reason. Master the art of distraction. A bottle thrown down a hallway or a wind-up toy sent in the other direction can pull a small group of walkers away from your path, letting you slip by. Remember, every fight you avoid is a fight you've won. A common mistake is to get complacent or hesitate. Once you commit to a fight, you finish it. No hesitation. But choosing that fight is the real skill. Let's be real, you can't stay here forever. This apartment, your fortress, is ultimately a tomb in waiting. The resources will run out. The building will decay. Staying in a known infected zone is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. You need an escape plan. And this is more than just deciding to run. It's a detailed strategy. You've already mapped the building, so you know the routes. You need at least 2 exit plans. A rooftop escape might let you cross to an adjacent building, avoiding the hordes on the street. A ground floor exit is faster but infinitely more dangerous. You have to weigh the risks. Before you go anywhere, you need a go bag. This isn't luggage. It's your 72-hour survival kit, and it has to be light enough to carry while you're running. It must contain the absolute essentials: a portable water filter, a multi-tool, a basic first aid kit, high-energy food, a durable flashlight with extra batteries, and a change of sturdy clothes. You also need a destination. Aimlessly wandering, the dead world is a death sentence. There's a rumor you picked up on the radio A safe zone to the north, where the cold kills the infection. It might be a myth, a ghost story for the end of the world. But a myth is better than no hope at all. It gives you a reason to take that next step. So, the choice is laid bare. You can stay in the relative safety of your concrete tomb and wait for the inevitable. Or you can grab your go bag and risk it all for a ghost of a chance. This is the final test. Stay and die, or run and try to survive. You made it. But survival wasn't just one big decision. It was a chain of smart choices built on 4 pillars. First, you secured your location, turning a trap into a fortress. Second, you managed your resources, prioritizing needs over wants. Third, you strategized your fights, understanding that the best confrontation is the one you avoid. And finally, you planned your escape, because you knew survival means moving forward, not staying put. But the core of it all is mental fortitude. It's the will to live and the refusal to give up. It's about breaking down an impossible problem into small, manageable tasks and focusing only on what's right in front of you. You survived the apartment. You passed the test. The journey ahead is long, but you're no longer just a victim of the apocalypse. You're a survivor. But those choices were yours. So, we have to ask, what would you have done differently to escape that building? Would you have risked the rooftop journey or fought through the ground floor? Let us know your survival strategy in the comments below. If you found this guide useful, hit that like button, subscribe for more content to help you outlast the end of the world, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a critical update. Stay prepared, stay alive,